Good morning, everybody. Once again from the Peachtree Cafe in scenic Rimrock, Arizona.
What's a good morning about Monday?
I don't know, a lot of good things about Monday. It's start of the week,
you gotta
and
go back to work.
It's Monday, March 2nd, the first Monday of March in 2020. A great new year. So many things to talk about. By the way, we're using an iPhone 11 with a wide-angle lens, and so I'm actually not really this much larger than a REIT.
It's true. He is large. He
I'm
is
large.
very large, yes.
Just not that big. And I guess your Michael is larger than life, as they
Okay,
say.
play the question already.
Hey, come on. We're having fun with our friends having the breakfast. So wherever you are, having your beer muesli or your congee or your cornflakes or wherever you happen to be, we hope you're enjoying the show. Please do send your questions to seedquestions@diamondcutterinstitute.com in a 30-second selfie vertical in your phone. Seedquestions@diamondcutterinstitute.com. Send your questions 30 seconds or less, and we will see if we can fit them into the show. And so we've got a cool question for today, right?
Yeah, very good question. I think a lot of people has this. It's a business question from Janice Sanders from Colorado.
Wonderful Janice Sanders from Silverton,
Hi,
Colorado.
Janice.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Hi, I'm Janice Sanders, and I'm from Southwest Colorado. I have 6 stores in this area, and they're seasonal. So my question is, what seeds do I need to plant to get the help that I need when I'm not able to have them employed year-round?
Okay, cool. So she said help, get the help, right?
Yeah. So she's working. She has a business. She has a seasonal. It's a seasonal kind of industry.
Janice Sanders is a Diamond X speaker, by the way, has been to the Sedona College many times for the training to be a DCI teacher.
She's busy in the winter or in the summer?
I don't know, Janice.
I don't know.
She didn't say. I think
in the summer.
In the summer, okay.
I think.
Yeah, it sounds reasonable for me.
So it's a cool question.
It's a very cool question. I think a lot of people have it. A lot.
Especially people with businesses that need people, need resources, need employees, need staff team on an uneven basis, like a sporadic basis.
Well, in the diamond business, Christmas is 60% in the United States of the business. So we would hire a lot of new people like in September.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then we would fire them all in January. And so I've actually had this problem, and I know what it feels like. And it first of all, it feels really bad when you have to let somebody go, because you just don't have any work. There's no work for them. So I think from that angle, one of the seeds you can plant is to be sensitive that the other person is gonna, not have work. Be honest with them. Mm-hmm. I found that it's good to be honest with them. I would also tell them, if you really do well, then we can try to find a way to keep you. So they, the good ones will work hard. And then I'd say the best thing you can do, as far as seeds, one important thing you can do is to help them get work during the off season. So most employers who are hiring people in the summer or in the winter, they will just say, okay, you're out, and they won't help them find another job. So possibly you could work out something with another industry or another merchant who has work for them, not in the summer, who doesn't need people in the summer.
So Geshe, you put a focus on helping. If I'm the boss and I have this problem of a seasonal work, I should planting the seed by helping the employee, the employee that I took for a period of time, for a temporary time. Yeah. That will plant the seed for them to come to...
that you can find more seasonal people next year.
More seasonal people, exactly.
But I'd say 2 things. One is be very honest about the nature of the job. Because a lot of people who have seasonal work, they will lie to the employee. They'll say, we hire people all year. Well, many seasonal employers will lie to the employee. So I'd say be honest up front. And then secondly, don't just dump them at the end. Even if you have to let them go, see if you can help them, spend some time with them to find work if they want work. Some of them don't want more work.
So Janice, this is one option, and anybody that has the same similar problem, this is one option that Geshe Michael says, the way to plant a seed is by being honest with your employee about the fact that we need them for a temporary time, and take care of them when you let them go after a few months.
Now, we have something with the virus going on right now. People are at home who thought they would be at work. A lot of people are trying to telecommute to their job, but for some people it's not really working out. It's not going to be possible for a few months. What would you say to people who are affected by the virus now in many countries of the world, and they have to be at home? It's seasonal. It became seasonal.
The job becomes seasonal.
Yeah, and their income is not going to, they're going to have a tough time with their income. And I think the worst thing is people get bored to death. So how would you advise a person to spend their time wisely and not just sit there and watch Netflix all day?
Well, I think it depends on what they want. In DCI events around the world in all these cities, we find a lot of people showing up because they want something. And that's kind of, the nature of life for most of us, right? So for those people sitting at home in wherever they happen to be in the world, I would be interested to know, first of all, what's your goal? What it is that is your number one priority that you want in life. If it's a problem with employment where it's become, as you say, seasonal or basically become unstable, then I would go, looking for, answers to what I like to call the two sides of the coin. What seed do I plant specifically for the goal that I want, and what seed do I avoid specifically for the problem that I have identified very basically that I have? And so, sometimes these answers start to sound, I think, conventional. And so I like to go to the real basics. For those of you, if you haven't been to a DCI event or you don't really know what the heck we're talking about here, we're talking about hardcore cause and effect. Basically everything we experience is a result of something that we've said, thought, or done in the past. So I would go looking for a simple relationship. If I'm Janice Sanders and I am experiencing a problem to get the right team, the right resource when I need it, then I'd try to break that down. If I'm experiencing that, I must have caused somebody else to have a stress or a problem during some sort of crisis time. And so I would go looking maybe for where I'm doing things during the day every day where I'm maybe not supporting people enough exactly when they need it.
Yeah, or you're not, in English there's an idiom called, American English, called a fair weather friend.
Fair weather friend.
Which means in the good weather, you're a very good friend. But when there's some controversy or when things are difficult, you just bail out.
Right.
So.
I have some practical suggestion for Janice, because you are living in a touristic area. We are also, by the way.
Silverton, Colorado, by the way, beautiful, beautiful place.
Yeah.
Janice Sanders.
So so because it's a tourist area, of course it's seasonal as you described it, but probably a lot of people around you, a lot of businesses around you have a similar problem. It's like all the businesses share this seasonal employee problem.
Wow, that's a good call.
So what if you guys, led by you, Janice, have a certain kind of, let's say, community? And what you do, you meet once a week for 1 hour, and you talk about helping each other and helping all the businesses around.
That's cool.
With this problem, and come up with some kind of an alternative thinking of how you can elevate everybody's situation, and that will plant a seed for you specifically.
That's
right?
great. That's because one of the most basic tools at DCI, the 4 steps, says that if I want to intentionally plant a seed or create like an imprint to see a specific result, then I would choose somebody like what Arit just said that has the same problem as me, and I would try to help them to achieve the success that they need. And the basic cause and effect relationship is that I will then see myself experience the same result. And so you just did something really smart. You counseled Janice that right there in her hometown, she's got a lot of business people with the same problem. Help them to find employees.
Yeah, create a community, create a group, and all you do is you're dealing with this problem, and it will serve everybody. It will serve the town, it will serve the community.
And it's not a conventional answer. We're talking about cause and effect, right?
I'm kind of a fan of Benjamin Franklin, who's on the $100 bill in America. He never became president, but he really helped our country get its independence. He was the main person who fundraised for it. And he invented eyeglasses. He invented the stove in the middle of the room. He invented the public library. He invented sidewalks with curbs.
Wow.
And he invented a thing called the Chamber of Commerce. And he said, and by the way, he was one of the most successful business people in his time. And his idea was, instead of competing with he was a printer. So instead of competing with all the other printers in town, he actually created a Chamber of Commerce, which means a chamber of businesses that meet together once every 2 weeks. And they sit there and they help each other. And they give each other ideas.
A business group.
Business club.
But even your competitors.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was an unheard of thing in his time. And, up to that time, everyone was jealous of each other.
Yeah. Ooh, Janice, did you have any competitors in Silverton or other cities? Maybe you could help them send them one of your employees. Whoa. Now you're
He
talking.
did another great thing that I want to bring up. His business was very, very successful, but he wanted to do other things. Like he wanted to explore the energy of lightning and how could we capture it and use it for lighting in our home or something like that. Mm-hmm. So he went out in rainstorms, in lightning storms, with a kite and a key to attract the lightning, and he pretty much invented the idea of electricity in this world, And that took time and it took money for his experiments. So he decided he would like to retire very early. And then he made a deal with a poor person. He said, you will be my assistant for 5 years, 6 years. And then starting in the 6th year, I will give you 10% of the business every year. And that's what we're doing with this cafe, actually. We hired a person who doesn't have a lot of money. They are the manager. We're going to run it for, 5, 6 years if we ever open. And then we're going to
You'll open after 5 or 6 years.
Well, we're going to actually turn the ownership over to them slowly, like 10% a year. And you might want to think about something like that, because that builds a lot of loyalty.
So, Geshe Michael, what you suggest that what you do is you
make them co-owners.
Make them co-owners.
Yeah,
okay.
but sliding scale, over a period of time.
Yes, because you want to check
profit
them.
sharing,
you
yeah.
want to check
Yeah,
them.
and then Franklin, for the rest of his life, got an annual stipend from this printer, who was extremely happy. He could never have enough money to buy a shop, and maybe you could think about that. Make those employees partners in your future.
I have another thing that came up to my mind, because what happened to us, to DCI, is that because of the coronavirus, we could not
At the moment.
We cannot go and travel and we had to cancel some tours, and which made our job seasonal, like yours.
Wow.
So, but it actually came up and it pushed us to do something new. You see, and then this is why we started this online. We had this vacuum in our time, and we were like, "What are we going to do?"
Oh, we were planning to start.
Yeah, we were planning, but it's kind of pushed us much farther and much faster to go and to do the online thing. And maybe you can think about that between the season. Maybe there is a new thing that you can do with your business, like.
Yeah, if you have 6 shops, you have 6 buildings. If you have 6 buildings and they're closed half the year, maybe you could repurpose them. I know the first big yoga studio in New York, and by the way, I got some emails from them this morning, so I'm thinking about them, was Jivamukti. And they started in a clothing store that didn't need the store after 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Wow.
So they double purposed the building, and maybe you could do something like that.
Yeah.
Find a use for it.
But in some level, you might think, oh, this is a conventional answer, what we are giving you.
No, I don't think so, because it helps somebody else.
So when you're helping somebody else with your building or with your resources or with your idea, you're actually planting seeds.
That's really smart. And so we talk about old way versus new way, the ways that we would have maybe approached this in the past. Like maybe I go on to, one of the job recruiter sites and make an advertisement or put it in Craigslist as we do in the United States. And we're not telling you guys to stop doing those things. We're just trying to explain that we believe through the system DCI comes from, that there are deeper causes. There are hidden causes that make those recruiter ads or ads in Craigslist or whatever you're doing that make those things successful. And so it's we're not saying stop doing that. Just understand the true reasons why they're successful or not.
Okay,
Great stuff.
Let's summarize. Okay,
Yes.
let's
So it's
summarize.
about to come in the door.
Okay, so first thing, first tip that we gave you is try to take care of your employee, the seasonal employee, right?
Yeah.
And
Be honest with them about the situation.
But you're doing a conventional thing with a good motivation to plant the seed.
Number two, why don't you create a community of businesses around you that have the same issue, and you meet once a week, once in 2 weeks, and you think about creative way of trying to solve this problem, help
seasonal
each other to get seasonal employees.
But again, it's not a conventional thing. It looks conventional, but it's also intended to help them in order to plant the seed to see my success as a business person.
Number three, use this vacuum that is created between the season to come up with a new idea to evolve your business. Maybe use the building that you have for also other things, or do things online, or any other way that you can.
Sometimes the off-season business ends up being more profitable than the
Yes, it's true.
Very cool practical tips today.
Okay,
Yes.
so those three, real examples of things you can do. You have a question for?
And I'm saying, guys, if you have more suggestion of how to plant seeds to get seasonal job, or maybe you had this problem and you find a solution for it, please share it with us in the comments below.
Cool. And the online community, we're really enjoying that.
And
you guys.
Geshe Michael promised to answer you.
That's true. Well, some of them at least. Okay, while Arit is getting the question for tomorrow ready, I got a little bit of housekeeping. So first of all, the online community is having a good time. Jump in, ask questions, comment. You may see Geshe Michael even comment a little bit there. When you have questions for the show, please do write into seedquestions@diamondcutterinstitute.com. Send us a 30-second vertical or 30-second or less vertical video of yourself asking the question. Also, we are working hard on, in production right now, the DCI online training in several different levels. If you are a mobile app developer, please do send us your app portfolio at diamondcutterinstitute.com. That's app@diamondcutterinstitute.com. We're basically networking to see who's out there that's good at developing apps. We have a team that's going to be evaluating and choosing a partner, and we will be coming out with a mobile platform to share that online training very soon. Let's talk about tomorrow's question.
Let me talk about, I'm going to have two guests here tomorrow. They're from Shenzhen, China, and they help run one of our big programs there. And I think it's going to be very exciting to have some friends from China on this show.
Friends from China in the Peachtree tomorrow, guys.
Yeah.
And they got stuck here because they came to America.
Yeah, they
couldn't go back home.
Yeah. So I hired them as seasonal employees.
Oh!
Seasonal employees.
All right, guys. So for tomorrow, Stanley and Allison will be talking about a question from Rachel of Malaysia.
Hi, Geshe Michael. I'm Rachel from Malaysia. I've always been very angry and upset. I have an angry father, and I always upset since young, angry at my husband, angry at my children, angry at my staff, and scolding them. And after learning the seed sister, I don't do that anymore, and I'm very sorry about that. But I'm just wondering what are the possible consequences that I might see in the future. Thank you.
Woo! All right, that's a big question. We hear a lot at DCI events. Anger, and what to do about it. So that's it for Monday, March 2nd, guys.
Yep.
Hope you enjoyed the show. Once again, I'm the only one eating. That's not.
That's awesome.
Love you guys.
Love you. Bye.
Have a great day, guys. Take care. Happy Monday.
See you tomorrow.